Picture this. A product demonstration goes horribly wrong. The internet explodes with mockery, and within days, 2 million people line up to buy the failed product. Welcome to the most counterintuitive marketing success story of the 21st century. Elon Musk didn't just launch a vehicle, he orchestrated a psychological experiment that convinced Americans to hand over billions for a truck that barely functions, costs more than most houses, and was delivered years later than promised. We're diving into the most audacious consumer manipulation scheme in automotive history, where broken glass became broken logic, and a stainless steel wedge became America's most coveted status symbol. Today on The Philosophy of Marketing, we're dissecting how Elon Musk turned product disasters into profit gold mines. These psychological tactics are used by countless companies, and after this, you'll spot them instantly. Let's start with what appeared to be Elon Musk's most embarrassing public moment, but was actually his most calculated piece of performance art. November 21st, 2019, Tesla's chief designer, Franz Holzhausen, hurls a steel ball at the Cybertruck's bulletproof windows. Both windows shatter instantly. Musk stammers, "Oh my effing god." The audience cringes. The internet erupts in ridicule. Within hours, that 30-second disaster had been viewed over 50 million times. Every late-night show made jokes, Twitter had a meltdown with memes, the Cybertruck became the most talked-about vehicle launch in history, not for working, but for spectacularly failing. Marketing tactic number 1, weaponizing viral failures for maximum exposure. Media psychology expert Dr. Patricia Williams explains the counterintuitive success. In our attention deficit culture, perfect presentations get forgotten instantly. Spectacular failures create permanent cultural moments that people can't stop discussing. Must turn public embarrassment into priceless advertising. The numbers tell the real story. 146,000 pre-orders in the first 24 hours after the so-called failed demo. Traditional automotive launches spend millions trying to generate that level of consumer response. Musk achieved it through accidental comedy. Every news report about the broken windows included detailed coverage of the truck's specifications, capabilities, and revolutionary design. Musk had transformed journalists into unpaid marketing representatives, reaching audiences who would never voluntarily consume Tesla advertising. The strategy becomes clear when you realize that memorable moments matter more than perfect execution. Musk created a cultural touchstone that ensured everyone would remember the Cybertruck launch forever. But the viral failure was just the opener. Musk's real genius lay in understanding that modern American men weren't buying transportation, they were buying escape from their own perceived inadequacy. Every Cybertruck feature targets the male fantasy: bulletproof armor, military-grade durability, apocalypse-ready performance, tougher than any truck. This isn't automotive advertising, this is superhero costume marketing designed as vehicle specifications. Marketing tactic number 2, targeting identity anxiety through power fantasy. Behavioral analyst Dr. Kevin Thompson decodes the targeting. The Cybertruck appeals to men experiencing technological displacement, office workers who feel disconnected from traditional masculinity. It offers a way to feel both futuristic and traditionally powerful simultaneously. The customer data reveals everything. 71% male, median age 43, average income 180,000 or more. These aren't ranchers or contractors, they're software engineers and middle managers trying to feel like action heroes during their morning commute. Standard truck marketing shows construction sites, boat launches, and work applications. Cybertruck marketing shows dystopian landscapes, sci-fi scenarios, and Mad Max aesthetics. One sells utility, the other sells identity transformation. Listen to how buyers describe their decision. It makes me feel like a character from a movie. People will know I'm not ordinary. It's like owning a piece of the future. These aren't transportation purchases, they're therapy sessions disguised as car shopping. Musk discovered that selling someone their fantasy self-image generates far more profit than selling them what they actually need. The Cybertruck isn't a vehicle, it's a $100,000 masculinity supplement for men having a midlife crisis. Now let's examine how Musk used behavioral economics to create the illusion of unprecedented demand while requiring virtually no customer commitment, a masterpiece in artificial scarcity manufacturing. The psychological brilliance of the $100 deposit lies in its perfect calibration. Large enough to feel meaningful, small enough to risk impulsivity, it creates the emotional experience of purchasing without the financial reality of buying anything. Tesla announced 1.9 million pre-orders by 2023, generating headlines about record-breaking demand. But wait, a refundable $100 deposit isn't a sale. It's essentially market research with a small entry fee. The so-called demand was largely fictional. Marketing tactic number 3, minimal commitment, maximum perception strategy. Economic behavior specialist Dr. Rachel Foster explains the psychology. The deposit system creates psychological ownership without financial obligation. Customers feel like Cybertruck owners before owning anything, increasing emotional investment while allowing Tesla to report massive sales that aren't actually sales. Standard vehicle purchases involve credit applications, substantial down payments, and binding contracts. Tesla eliminated all friction while creating the appearance of overwhelming consumer validation for an unproven concept. Each deposit generated social media content, confirmation screenshots, announcement posts, friend recommendations. Customers became unpaid brand evangelists, creating viral marketing loops that convinced others to join the queue. Musk had transformed buyers into a sales force. The genius intensifies when you recognize how the system created its own urgency. Rising reservation numbers convinced hesitant consumers to secure their position for a potentially limited product. The artificial demand manufactured real demand through pure psychology. Consider this: Musk collected approximately $200 million in interest-free customer loans while generating billions in publicity value, all for a product that existed primarily as computer renderings and broken prototypes. Now we reach the most predatory aspect of Musk's strategy, how he systematically altered pricing and specifications while exploiting psychological commitment to prevent customer defection. During the original review, Musk prominently advertised a base model starting at $39,900. That price point was strategic, positioning the Cybertruck as attainable for middle-class Americans, not exclusively for tech millionaires. Fast forward to 2023, and the cheapest option available is $81,000, more than doubling the original promise. The affordable model quietly vanished from all marketing materials with minimal customer notification. Pre-order holders faced a choice: pay double or abandon their place in line. Marketing tactic number 4, incremental price manipulation exploiting commitment bias. Consumer psychology researcher Dr. Angela Martinez explains the trap. Once people have invested time, social capital, and emotional energy in a purchase decision, they become remarkably tolerant of adverse changes. Musk exploited this by implementing modifications gradually rather than transparently. Alongside price increases came quiet feature deletions. The promised 500-mile range became 340. The 14,000-pound towing capacity was reduced. Full self-driving became an expensive add-on. Each change happened without fanfare, buried in technical specification updates. Despite these substantial deteriorations, cancellation rates remained surprisingly low. Customers had spent years defending their Cybertruck decision to skeptical family members and friends. Admitting the deal had worsened meant admitting they'd been manipulated, a psychological cost many couldn't accept. Customer forums revealed fascinating psychological gymnastics. Higher prices reflect advanced technology. Quality improvements justify costs. I'd rather wait for perfection. These aren't rational assessments, they're psychological defense mechanisms protecting damaged self-perception. When customers have publicly committed to purchase decisions, they often defend those decisions even when fundamental value propositions deteriorate. Musk constructed his entire business model around this psychological vulnerability. Perhaps Elon Musk's most sophisticated discovery was learning how to convert every setback, criticism, and controversy into additional marketing energy, proving that outrage can be more valuable than admiration. Originally scheduled for 2021, actual deliveries began in late 2023. Each delay generated fresh news cycles, social media debates, and renewed public attention. Traditional companies would view this as catastrophic, Musk transformed delays into extended advertising campaigns. Critics called it a dumpster on wheels, brutalist architecture gone mobile, and the aesthetics of dystopia. Every insult sparked passionate defenses from supporters, creating viral arguments that kept the Cybertruck in constant cultural conversation. Marketing tactic number 5, controversy cultivation for sustained attention. Communications strategist Dr. Mark Johnson explains the phenomenon. Musk realized that polarizing products generate more sustained attention than universally appreciated ones. Every criticism creates opportunities for supporters to defend the brand, deepening their emotional investment while attracting fresh attention. The Cybertruck evolved into internet currency, appearing in countless jokes, parodies, and cultural references across every platform. Each meme, regardless of sentiment, reinforced brand recognition and cultural penetration. Musk achieved marketing's ultimate goal: unpaid cultural integration. Traditional automakers invested billions into conventional advertising, while Tesla dominated automotive discourse through pure controversy. Ford's Lightning truck, technically superior in many respects, generated minimal cultural conversation despite massive promotional spending. The strategy's effectiveness is undeniable. Cybertruck-related content accumulated over 45 billion social media impressions between 2019 and 2023. That represents advertising value equivalent to approximately $1.8 billion in traditional media purchasing, achieved primarily through delays and arguments. It's almost artistically cynical. Musk transformed every business setback into a marketing triumph, every criticism into brand reinforcement, and every delay into renewed anticipation. He mastered the art of controversial commerce. But every hype machine eventually collides with reality. And for the Cybertruck, that collision has been brutal for customers who bought into Musk's promises. When Cybertrucks finally reached customers in late 2023, the reality was devastating. Reports flooded social media about major quality issues, panels that don't align, software that crashes constantly, and range that falls far short of the promises made. These $100,000 plus trucks were arriving broken. Early owners documented problems that would embarrass a budget automaker, rust spots appearing within weeks, charging systems that fail randomly, and build quality that looks like prototype work. These weren't luxury vehicles, these were expensive science experiments. The final pricing reached over $120,000 for many configurations, tripled the original promise while delivering a vehicle that Consumer Reports rated among the least reliable trucks ever tested. Customers had paid premium pricing for what essentially amounted to an unfinished tech demo. The social media conversations that once celebrated the Cybertruck turned toxic. Owners groups filled with complaints, return requests, and warnings to prospective buyers. The viral enthusiasm that built the brand became the viral regret that's destroying it. Tesla reportedly processes hundreds of Cybertruck returns every single month, while thousands more customers have canceled their pre-orders after seeing the final product. The deposit system that trapped customers for years is finally breaking down under the weight of product reality. When your entire business model depends on selling promises rather than products, eventually you have to deliver something real, and when that something falls catastrophically short of the promises, the psychological manipulation finally stops working. The Cybertruck phenomenon reveals disturbing patterns about how modern investment culture enables sophisticated deception and why these tactics are spreading across multiple industries. The Cybertruck playbook, compelling narratives, staged demonstrations, social media manipulation, and strategic partnerships has become increasingly common across industries from biotechnology to artificial intelligence to renewable energy. The Cybertruck's troubled launch has prompted regulatory discussion about improving oversight of startup claims, particularly regarding demonstrations and prototype presentations that might mislead investors about actual technological capabilities. The essential skill becomes distinguishing between companies demonstrating actual technological capabilities versus companies performing technological theater designed to extract investment capital before delivering functional products. Elon Musk's Cybertruck reveals something deeper than personal wrongdoing. It uncovers how easily the system can be gamed by those who have mastered narrative, hype, and human psychology. With nearly 2 million pre-orders representing roughly $7 billion in implied demand, Musk demonstrated that sophisticated psychological manipulation can create more business value than actual product development, at least temporarily. Here are the 5 psychological tactics that powered Cybertruck's marketing success, each one a tool you can either use ethically as a business owner or watch out for as a consumer. Marketing tactic number 1, viral failure as free marketing. Turn public disaster into cultural dominance. A single dramatic mistake, like a shattered window, can create more lasting attention than a flawless reveal. The question to ask, am I creating marketing that's too safe to be remembered or bold enough to be talked about? Marketing tactic number 2, selling power to the powerless. Don't just sell features, sell identity. The Cybertruck wasn't just a truck, it was a futuristic armor suit for the everyday man facing insecurity. The question to ask here, what fantasy or self-image does my product allow my customer to step into? Marketing tactic number 3, ownership illusion through micro-commitments. Small upfront commitments like Tesla's $100 deposit create a feeling of ownership that locks people in emotionally before they've received anything. The question to ask, how can I lower the barrier to entry while still making the customer feel deeply invested? Marketing tactic number 4, shifting the deal after you're hooked. When customers have committed publicly, socially, or emotionally, they're less likely to walk away, even if the offer worsens. The question to ask here, am I respecting my customers' trust or am I relying on their commitment bias to sneak in changes? And the final marketing tactic, monetizing controversy and chaos. Polarizing products generate more attention and loyalty than safe, universally liked ones. Outrage creates conversation. The question to ask, am I trying to please everyone, or am I willing to be bold enough that some people love me and others hate me? Understanding these 5 marketing tactics will help protect you from similar manipulation, whether it's in automotive, tech, crypto, or any industry selling promises about the future. Now, if you found this marketing breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to The Philosophy of Marketing. Also, I put together a free guide called The 5 Hidden Marketing Laws Every Brand Breaks. It's short, sharp, and shows you how to build a brand people actually believe in, not just buy from. It's completely free and the link is down below. And if you're working on a brand or startup and want help with your positioning, messaging, or marketing strategy, I'm currently offering one-on-one brand consults. Spots are limited, but if you're serious about making your brand unforgettable, check the link in the description. And finally, remember this: the moment you pay for what something will become instead of what it actually is, you've already lost. Everything else is just billion-dollar mind control disguised as innovation.